Wonderful, gorgeous souls. Welcome to another episode of Heart and Soul. And today we are talking about January blues. It's sort of often January feels like the longest month ever. It's still dark out there. We've spoken about wintering, and for me it's often that so many people, they feel like, oh, it's a new year, let's get started, let's get going and plan and do and everything and keep going, do. And for me it's more like, I'm still in winter, I'm still sort of half asleep, and then I feel bad because I'm not doing enough, I'm not doing. But it's about being, and January can feel like a January blues, holiday season is over, the excitement of Christmas, New Year is gone, and you're back in your routine. You're back in your everyday life, and adjusting to that and creating time, maybe for change or being, reflection is so important. And listening to your body and its needs. As always, my wonderful dear friend Janet is with me. Hello, hello.
Hello, Caroline. Yes, I'm agreeing with everything you're saying there. I am not a winter baby. I definitely prefer the summer. And I have to say, I definitely find January really long and really hard going. And I know there's a lot of people, when I've been talking to friends, everybody's going, oh, January is such a, for many different reasons, you feel very, the mood is low. It's the weather, the darkness, after all the excitement of the holidays, so you've had Christmas and the New Year, family get-togethers and all of that excitement, and then sort of you hit January and there's like nothing. And it just feels, maybe as well financially, you haven't got the money to go out and you haven't got the money to do this, and as you say, the weight of maybe if you put New Year's resolutions and you're having to force yourself to go to the gym every morning at 6 o'clock in the dark, and you just sort of like find that sort of suddenly all of these things become such a push you down rather than trying to lift you up. So I agree with you. I take a more relaxed approach to January now. And I have to say, since having the dog and now going out for walks, I mean, this morning it was -1. So we only did a short walk before somebody goes, oh, you shouldn't have the dog. We did a very short walk. She had her little coat on, and but it was bright. And even though it was crisp, it was wrapped up warm. She was cozy. And, it was really nice to get out rather than staying in. So I'm fine. And I know from you, you share there was a beautiful photograph you shared this morning from your dog walk. Tell us about what makes you happy when you're out.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, having a dog helps me get out every morning, and it's just that fresh air, and I love really cold, fresh, crisp air. It feels so invigorating. You just breathe in that fresh air. It's sort of like deeply cleansed overnight. It's been freezing. That air is so pure, crystal clear, and you can breathe it in, and it just sort of cleanses my whole body, my energy system. I feel deeply connected to my heart and my soul, to the angels and nature. And of course, we have snow still, which is just really, really beautiful. And this morning, it was just like the sun was sort of coming up, the sky was orangey, pinkish. It's just beautiful. And I felt sort of, wow, truly connecting to the beauty around us. And making the most of each moment and enjoying the moment helps me. When I feel like, oh, can't wait for spring, can't wait for blooms, can't wait for warmer weather, can't wait for, then it feels more dreary because you sort of want to get rid of what you have. But actually, every day has its beauty, and every month, every season. And if we can sort of make the most of this month while allowing ourselves to rest and maybe not push ourselves too hard, and coming back to the moment and, yeah, doing what you love, and maybe taking time to read a book on the sofa with a little blanket. And I still have some candles, not only in December, but throughout the sort of autumn, winter time. It's gorgeous, it's warming and beautiful.
I think you're absolutely right. You need to get out into nature, spend the time and take the moments, because I know that now when I'm out for my walks, I stop and look, well, because the dog stops, she stops all the time to sniff things. But it makes me then stop and I have a moment to look at things, and even like the little frost on, and it's so delicate, and you think, wow, nature is truly amazing. And like you, the air here on the coast, the sea air, very invigorating at times, but you do feel when you breathe it into your lungs that you're really, as you said, cleansing. I just find that when I've been out for a walk and I come in and my nose goes red, I'm so cold, and when you come in, you really are grateful for the heat when you come in, and a nice hot cuppa. And it's all of those little things, as you sort of say, become the things that you start to be more aware of and grateful for. Because if you're just in the house all the time and you're running around crazy, you don't have that space to be mindful of these magic moments. And it's these little moments that, over this course of your day, it's like, putting something into your happiness jar, that each moment is just like building up. And if you don't make space for that, you're missing out that. And that's what we need to boost our energy and make us uplift us.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Definitely. And I remember, because it's such a short time, from when my kids were at school, it was sort of end of Christmas break and before the ski break. Sometimes it's just 5 weeks, but it always felt like the longest, because one was sick, the other one got sick, and it just kept going forever, and everybody was tired, and so it can tear you down. And in those moments, create the light, be the light, and take it as it comes. And January can also, I think, right now, it's with a lot of letting go. I think it's really the new energies come in. You feel that new year. I mean, the difference from December to 1st, 2nd of January was amazing. It was sort of like really heavy and now very light. And just connecting to that, clearing your energies, going out, being present in the moment, and take time to connect to your heart or your soul. And I think it's the opposite of in summer when it's too hot, and being present and grateful, and maybe listen to all the episodes we already shared. I mean, there's so much wisdom in that, and I don't want to repeat everything, but gratitude, wintering.
Energies, chakras. There's so much in there.
Exactly. And I think now it's also, it's the time to, maybe listen to a podcast or watch a show, or taking that time for yourself is so essential. And when we feel like we have to push, then we're sort of like out of sync.
Yes.
And that's the discrepancy of that is I think really, really pulling at us. And we can truly feel that January blues. I think when I grew up, I felt November was sort of that darkest month, or the saddest month, or maybe just because there with the whale, and you connect to the other side, to the souls and the family members that have passed. But I think January can be equally, if not more so, triggering.
I mean, you mentioned something there. I mean, I know that January is a month where a lot of people get sick after the rushing round in the holiday period and maybe the overindulgence, and then they hit January and it's like maybe also then pushing for their New Year's resolutions or whatever and their goals, and or they're not going out or making space. And I think what is important, as you sort of say, is that, to maintain and look after ourselves, treat January as a month of like self-care, self-love, allow yourself, give yourself permission, because I think that's what we struggle with, is we think society expects us to keep going, and we put this pressure on ourselves. And once you can learn to let go of that, as you say, release all of that, and actually go, well, what do I need? Do I need to have some quiet space? Would a walk outside in nature, help to make me feel good? Do I, those like a hot drink, my hot tea, and I sitting with a book in front of the fire, is that what I need? If that's what you need to nurture, but you need to learn to become self-aware. And once you learn that, then you can sort of lean into that and practice that self-care, that self-compassion. I know this is all your area, Caroline. This is
and yours too. It's that connection to the heart and soul. And like you said, I think sometimes, because December is all looking forward to the holiday and excitement, and then January is sort of like, oh, that's my real life. So if you're feeling that sort of, oh, okay, I'm back in the routine, oh gosh, and I need to go another year, take a good look at the things you're doing every day. Maybe make a list, and over the week, every day, and see, maybe put smiley faces next to things you love to do, and then maybe things that sort of drain your energy or you don't feel good about, and take a look and change. Allow change to happen. It's not like we have to keep going into hardship or things that really drain our energy. Take a good look and connect to your heart and soul, and find your soul's purpose. I think January is also that month where people question their everyday, after that excitement and sort of that break from regular life. And it's good. It's okay to let go, and it's okay to change. And joy, open up to joy, and do the things and allow and give yourself permission. That's a key one. So I grant you permission to look after yourself. And I think we are grown up. We could only play when we've done the homework. We had to work for leisure time. And actually, it's sort of the other way around, allow downtime, recharge your energy. So you are then full of energy and full of joy to do the things you're here to do.
Exactly. I mean, you mentioned there about, soul purpose. Also, you also touched on there with soul passion. Because when you live from a place of following your passions, your joys, the things that really make you happy, they're all things that are feeding your energy system, which has a great impact in lifting your mood. It helps your health, your whole health system, brings you more vitality. And you just feel that you're living. And even if you've got, I mean, we've all got to pay bills. Unfortunately, that's the reality of our world. Okay, yes, you may have the commitment of a job and family, but somewhere in there, find space for the things, as Caroline says, that truly make you happy. And often it's the creative things. It's things like, joining a choir and singing, because singing is one of I wish I could sing. I'm not the best singer in the world, but I do in my private space. But it's something about, you're working your body, the vagus nerve. It just is an amazing thing. So if singing's your thing, join a choir, or even just, sing at home. Painting. I admire people again who can sit and paint, because you really are in the moment. You really are very mindful. Everything else has to go. Playing a musical instrument. There's loads of things, it might be even just writing or doodling, or, just creating image boards or something, just finding something that just you enjoy doing. Maybe it's knitting, sewing. There are so many different interests out there, and it's just find the one that you really, really enjoy and forget about everyone else. This is you. I've got too many, I think. I never have time. Learning to play the piano again. I'm not very good, but I do enjoy it, because again, it takes me back to the moment. I do enjoy writing. I do enjoy being creative on Canva, for example. Caroline knows that I can design a lot of things, and that makes me happy. And I like to bake as well. But then I like to eat it as well. So we'll have to watch that. What about you, Caroline? What are your favorite things that you enjoy doing that really lift you up?
I wish I could just come over for tea and cake at your place. I mean, yeah, being creative, sometimes just doodling, or, when I was at school, I remember I had sort of paper, with the
Yes.
crosses, and then coloring it in, a line, and just doing something. And of course, I love taking pictures. So, and I think for me, it helps just capturing the beauty. And sometimes, of course, the photo is never as good as reality, but I always have my phone with me and I take pictures, and I think that just opens me up to see, oh, this is beautiful. Oh, this is beautiful. And like you said, the frost yesterday was quite cold. And the trees, they had this gentle frost around them. It looked magical. And I do love singing. Unfortunately, with my young adults at home, they look at me a bit funnily, but in the car alone, I sing along to the tune. And I haven't found a choir that here in my area, but yeah, do the things you truly love and journal or meditate. That's also, I love meditation, and I sort of got a rhythm of doing a meditation before I go out, but sometimes I doesn't have enough time. That's always the thing. We make time for it. So maybe then in the evening, it's just amazing. Or then just talking to my angels, sort of like, help me through this, help me keep a positive mind, seeing the beauty in everything, and yeah, just feeling connected. I think that's another thing. Reach out to people. If someone pops into your mind, reach out. You don't have to call. I'm not a phone person. I'm more like a text person. You can send a quick text and say, hi, how are you doing? And just helping others, I think, is also something that really nurtures our soul and is that heart connection.
Just when you were saying that and you said the word connection, I was exactly going to say the same thing. Is we as introverts, we're probably more, we will step back from things, but obviously there's some of you who may need that connection, that being with other people. So as Caroline says, reach out. Why not have a supper party if you've got, just do, something easy, have some friends around, play some games. It doesn't have to be fancy, just an invitation, everybody just, relaxed. If that's your thing, do it, because probably everybody else is sitting going, oh, I've got nothing, there's nothing exciting now after, all the excitement of the new year and Christmas and holidays, and to maybe just get an invitation for, soup and bread and play some games. It doesn't have to be fancy, it doesn't have to be expensive, or even say to people, bring a dish, or that, you can do it. It's just about getting together, isn't it? And
or for coffee, or anything, or for a walk. Sometimes it's even nice to just go for a walk with a friend, being out there and feeling that heart to heart connection and feeding your soul. I think this is just beautiful. And and being open and frank about how you're feeling. You can even, sometimes when I share how I feel, even on social media, that gives great feedback and helps others to express themselves too. Because if you're going through something, others are going through the same thing. And being honest with yourself, because I think we have that need of always, sharing the good things or pretending everything is okay. When someone asks you how you are and you say, fine, and you're not fine, and you can allow that. It's not like you have to moan or dive in too deep, but being honest with yourself also, and allowing yourself to have a low day. That's part of life too. We don't always have to pretend everything is good, everything is positive. It's, I think that is sort of that fake positivity, or even that truly,
I think so, particularly as we live now with so much media, social media, and certainly for the younger generation, but even we're touched by it as well. If you've got a phone and you're scrolling through any of the social medias, there is that sort of the perfect this, the perfect life, the perfect. And it's like a drip feed effect, and it's not helpful, because it's, as Caroline says, it's not real. You don't know what goes on the other side. We are only given that snapshot. And so much, particularly the younger generation, are sort of so falling into that and are losing their truth of who they are and accepting them for who they are. And you know what, as we've talked about before, you know, they're perfect isn't perfect. We're beautifully imperfect, and that's the human experience for us.
Mhm.
And we need to embrace that.
Mhm. Definitely. And even I think in the spiritual community, you know, people so focus on the positive. Yes, it's okay to formulate your words positively and not dwell in what's not going well, but I think it needs both. It needs acknowledging of I am having a bad day, or I am feeling a bit low, to then get out of it. If we don't constantly pretend like this is not happening, it doesn't help. It takes that acknowledgement of, yeah, I feel low, I feel lonely, I feel whatever it is. And then from that, you can go up. And like you said, on social media, we compare our worst day with the best day of someone else. And yeah, then we feel like a complete failure, you know. And life is here, you know, it's an experience. And yeah, embrace it all, you know, embrace the days where you just hang out or where getting out of bed is an accomplishment, and that's good. You know, we all need these days, and then other days it's just complete flow, everything just perfectly aligns, and then you feel like, I always felt like, oh, now I got it. And then another low day, I thought, oh, what did I do wrong? But it's not that. It's the ebb and flow, you know, like the sea. You live by the sea, you know, it's coming in, coming out, and day and night, and in breath, out breath. It's both. Both is part of our life. And of course, if you constantly have low days or feel truly low, seek out help.
Medical,
You know, sometimes we need a little help to get out of the funk.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that. And we're here. If you ever need to reach out, we're quite happy to have a chat. So, yes, I mean, one thing I do love, I used to live in Singapore where there was just one season all year, the same. You knew what time of the day it was going to rain. It was hot, steamy. Oh, and I have to say, now being back with the seasons, I now look back and I think, no, actually, I'm grateful for the seasons. And it is a reminder that each season gives us the opportunity to have a different experience. And if we fall back in love with the winter, truly learn to embrace it, it is a wonderful time, nurturing time, a bit like sort of, you know, a plant sort of hibernating and then sort of like, you know, it's nurturing underneath and then blossoming again in the spring. So, you know, we need to take our guidance from nature. So allow ourselves that lovely time of just stepping back and just being. I like that, Caroline, just being.
Definitely, definitely. Yeah. Be the tulip, you know, nurture the bulb, the soul, the heart. So then you're ready to sprout and bloom again. And we can learn so much from nature. There's nothing that blooms year round. I don't think so. And not here when we have 4 seasons, you know.
No.
And that's the beauty of it. And definitely love the seasons and allowing us to change and go with the seasons and see the beauty in January, see the beauty around you, and embrace yourself and be open to embrace your life ahead. Anything else you love to share, Janet?
I think we've covered a lot of it, but it is about accepting the seasons and how we can draw on that and making space for what we need as part of that cycle. And yeah, it's a learning and an understanding, which a lot of people unfortunately are too busy to know. But when you do, it really starts to help you to grow and nourish and replenish and build your own energy and health system, which is vitally important. And you're not missing those magic moments, which I think are key.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And those magic moments happens in the time there's space. I only get guidance or insights when there's space. It's not so often when you keep going and pushing and doing, because then you're not open to receive. So if you still have a hard time allowing yourself to be or get some rest or have a leisurely day, self-care is essential. Just remember that's the time when you connect to your intuition, when you receive your guidance. Make space for it.
I like that. Make space.
Thank you so much for being with us for another beautiful Heart and Soul show, and we'll see you next week again. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Love and light blessings to you all.